me get flipped around. Okay, so I am needing to refill. I just started warming this fragrance. I've had this bag upstairs in my living room, and I just used more today, and it's like clear down here, so I need to refill. Partly because it also has a retired fragrance that we can no longer get because I think there was a ingredient. They couldn't get one of the ingredients. So funfetti cake batter, when we run out, we run out. We cannot buy this anymore. Funfetti cake batter is so good just by itself. It is whipped vanilla, sugar, and creamy frosting. And I am sad because this one smells just like a wedding cake. It's so good. But I have a blend that I have used off and on in my living room, and I want to get it refilled before I don't have any more funfetti. So I've called it Banana Fetti Cake. What I use is Banana Cabana, which is vanilla cream, banana, and vanilla bean. And this one is just like a banana Laffy Taffy. And I'm not big on like super strong banana fragrances, but when you blend it, so I blend it with the funfetti cake, again with vanilla, sugar, and creamy frosting. And then to add extra sweetness, I use the candy corn craze, which is sugar, caramel, and vanilla extract. So this one is just a really good, sweet fragrance. So when I combine all of these together, it's just, it is, I don't know, it's like a frosted banana cake, but it's not super, super strong on banana. When it is warming, it smells so good. My husband, when I have had this warming before, my husband comes in and asks me what I made, and I had just made supper, but supper, I don't remember what I made, but supper wasn't terribly, you know, aromatic at the time, whatever I made. And I said, does it smell like a dessert? And he said, yeah. And I said, I didn't make anything, that's just my wax melts. So I think he was a little disappointed that there wasn't a delicious baked item, because this one smells so good. Again, it is a funfetti cake. It is Banana Cabana and candy corn craze. So that funfetti cake with the Banana Cabana and the candy corn, it just makes it a beautiful kind of a banana cake, but not terribly, when it blends, it's not terribly overpowering banana. It just smells like a delicious dessert. And I was almost out. I have been warming this in my living room, and I just used some more today, and I'm very low in this bag. So I thought I better refill now, especially since funfetti cake is no longer available. I thought I better use it while I have it and refill this Banana Fetti cake that I have. If anybody is interested in funfetti cake, if you are familiar with Pink Zebra and you love that fragrance, grab a bag or two while you can, because like I said, we cannot buy this anymore. There was an ingredient that they couldn't get anymore, and so we are on the end of it. I was smelling to see what that was because I want to dump it in here and mix it up a little better. But this is a beautiful baked fragrance. If you guys are not familiar with Pink Zebra or you have any questions, please let me know. I mainly do vendor events, but I try to come live on here occasionally. Right now, my inventory is kind of all boxed up because of, I mean, I have some still over here, but a lot of it I can go get, but it is in boxes ready for my next vendor event, which is in about a week and a half. I have a 3-day vendor event. So if there is a particular warmer you are looking for, let me know, because if it is in my inventory, it is going with me for my 3-day vendor event. But if you get to it first, then you can have dibs. Okay, I probably went a little overboard. I don't know if I can even shut this. Not gonna lie, I think I put a little too much in there. Oh well, that's okay. I might just make a little sample bag. Do I have my sample bags? Any of them? Yeah. I'll just make a little sampler. I do, if you place an order, I always put samples in. I also have a new really good one that is next month's fragrance of the month coming out. It is Caramel Apple Delight. So my aunt was here. I live in Kansas, over the rainbow, Kansas. But my aunt was here from Indiana, and we were going through all of my wax melts. Since I've been doing vendor events, I have a whole bunch that are boxed up. So I just brought my totes over to my mom's house, and we were smelling all the different fragrances. The main ones that I have that I'm bringing to vendor events right now are fall and winter. But I brought this one over so that she could smell it. Caramel Apple Delight. Again, this one is next month's fragrance of the month. So I can get you a sample. We can't sell it yet. But this one is Granny Smith apples, caramel strands, and whipped vanilla milk. She said that she is not a big apple fan, but she said this one didn't bother her. She doesn't normally like the apple, but you can really smell caramel in this, so it is really heavy on the caramel of the caramel apple. I also have caramel cauldron that you could add it to. If you wanted even more caramel, we could add it to another apple fragrance, and just really, you can bring out different fragrances and really enhance different fragrances when you blend. But if anybody places an order, I can get you a sample of the Caramel Apple Delight so that when it comes out next month with our fragrance of the month, then you know what it smells like already. Okay, so I'm gonna make, so when either you place an order on here, or if you order, you purchase when I'm at a vendor event, I always give out samples. And so this one that I just made for myself, the banana fetty cake, I'm just gonna put a little bit in a sample that I can hand out because I went overboard and now I can't shut my little container. So we're gonna pour a little bit in here so that I can shut my one and bring it back upstairs for my personal stash. I do still have funfetti cake though that we can make this right now if anybody wants to grab some banana fetty cake. I do have a special, hold on, let me measure, let me add a little bit more. I do have a special that if your order is 45 or more right now, you are going to get a either a Halloween or fall tea on me. If your order is 45 or more, it's a mystery tea. It will ship to you. That's what I did last year, was sold shirts last year at vendor events. But that's a lot of work to make shirts. And I decided to go full pink zebra this year for my vendor events. So that's what I've done. Let me set this off to the side. And let me shut these, and then I can talk about some of the blends that I've been taking to my vendor events and ones that have been they've really sold well. So I love vendor events for the fact that you can smell the fragrances firsthand, especially if you're not familiar with Pink Zebra. So if you're not familiar with Pink Zebra, first off, my name is Amy. I'm an independent consultant. Pink Zebra is a non-toxic, headache-friendly wax mainly wax melts. We are a home fragrance, so we do have things like, and right now, normally if you've watched me, I have a stand that is back here, but it is folded up because I keep bringing it back and forth to vendor events. So once my vendor events are over for the season, then I can set it all back up. But anyway, so we have home fragrance wax melts that you put in a wax warmer are our most popular, most known for thing. They are little, if you saw me there, they are little dots of wax. The little dots of wax make it more blendable. So like this one you can see is a blend that I've done that I have different. This one has 3 different fragrances in it. But they're easily blendable to make your own signature fragrance that you can fragrance your home and just make it have a more, especially like during the holiday season, a more cozy feeling. Or, you know, you can make it, if you want to have more uplifting, you know, you might want to get some like citrus fragrances, or, you know, if you are feeling kind of down, especially like right now we're kind of ramping up. So we're ramping up to the holidays. You know, we have, if you have littles, we have Halloween coming. Then we have Thanksgiving, and then we have Christmas. And so like right now, everybody's kind of ramping up into the holiday season. It's exciting, it's fun, and you know, sometimes it's fun to have your fragrances be the warm, inviting, cozy fall or Christmas, you know, that remind you of things that have happened, you know, great memories of the past. We have a fragrance called Fireside Cozy that reminds me of going to my grandparents. Thank you for the gift. Hey, Melissa. How are you? Anyway, so the Fireside Cozy reminds me of going to Christmas in Indiana with my grandparents. It smells just like their fireplace. And so that one takes me back to Indiana Christmases. We went there every Christmas while I was with my parents. I'm good. How is it going with you? I just had a weekend with my daughter and her boyfriend, so that was fun. And then I thought I'd come live here for a little bit. I have a vendor event, not next weekend. Well, so there's this big vendor event that I went to last year when I did my shirts. Yes, I'm glad you stopped in. And it's a good vendor event. Well, I know that she does let some direct sales come, but she also sells Scentsy. And so when I inquired about bringing my Pink Zebra, she said she'd rather not. Even though I have done a different girl that sells Scentsy, I had done a vendor event with her. The end of the, well, when was it? I think it was like the beginning of August. And we were right next to each other. They had put us right next to each other. I know. They had put us right next to each other. And, well, because the lady in charge had asked if she could move me because the person that was supposed to be in my space had brought this big tent. And where they were supposed to put him, there was not room for a tent because it was also then kind of a walkway. It was kind of a weird angle into this walkway. And she's like, can I switch you guys because your space is better for this tent? And I said that was fine. Well, then when I looked at the map, I saw there was this Scentsy girl. And I said, just so you know, you're putting me next to somebody that sells you know, a lot of the same type of items. I said, it doesn't bother me, but just so you know. And she goes, well, if you don't mind. I don't either. I don't either. I think she's just scared, I guess, that we would be in competition. But like I said, so this other gal who also does Scentsy, who can't do this same show because the person that does the show does Scentsy. So this girl said, you know, she can never go to that show because she sells the same thing. But anyway, so they had sent us to the same thing. And I said, you know, I told her that it didn't bother me. And she goes, it doesn't bother me either. She said, because, you know, people that want Scentsy are going to go to Scentsy, and people that are interested in Pink Zebra are going to go to Pink Zebra. And I said, exactly. It's not like, you know, we have kind of the same type of thing, but people are familiar with Scentsy and Pink Zebra, and, you know, and they go to the ones that they like. So we both did well at the show. Neither one of us had a problem. In fact, one person I do know went over to her booth, got a warmer, and then came over to my booth and bought the wax melts. So, you know, we both got a sale from the same, you know, the same girl, and we both had people coming in and out all day, and we were fine, you know. But anyway, so that's okay. So I'm not going to do the one this weekend, but I have a 3-day event then the next weekend. So that'll be a good one. I know, but you know, she's like, I'd rather not. Oh, you'd rather not? Okay. Well, I guess that means you're scared, so I guess kudos to me. Because there are people who buy Pink Zebra, don't buy Scentsy normally, and people that buy Scentsy don't normally buy Pink Zebra. They have their preference, you know. So it's okay. I did a couple vendor events that I have never done that are a little bit further away. And I did pretty good on them. Of course, those two I had to have, I did a hotel stay. So that cuts into, you know, profits. But I figure I'm getting my name out because one of the events that I did, the gal, when I asked if I could sign up, she said, oh, that's great. She goes, we used to have Pink Zebra and we haven't had Pink Zebra in a long time. You know, I'm glad to have, you know, somebody else that sells it. And I did hear from a few people, oh, I used to buy this, but nobody around here sells it anymore. So it was good to get out my name. So, you know, if I keep coming back, then they're going to remember. Welcome in, guys. So yeah, so it's good. And then this weekend, I'm glad I didn't have a show this past weekend because my daughter and her boyfriend decided to come. They were surprising my niece, who her birthday's actually today, but we were having her birthday meal on Friday. And so my daughter and her boyfriend came for that, and then they stayed the rest of the weekend, so that was fun. We went shopping, went to a movie, and it was a good weekend. So yeah, so a lot of my stuff is still boxed up. I do have, you know, fragrances still available, because most things I try to keep a couple cartons, so I do have some that are still here that I can play with, but I don't want to get too unpacked because then I'm just going to have to pack it all up, and I don't have to do that. Okay, but anyway, so I did just make that one fragrance for myself. If anybody likes like a iced banana cake, not too terribly banana fragranced, but it's just a really good blend. It's not overwhelming. Sorry about that. My niece that I was just talking about, I had sent her a message, and they are not allowed to have they are not allowed to have phones on them anymore at school. And so I knew that when I sent her a birthday message, I wouldn't hear from her till after school. So she had just sent that to me. Okay, let me put these away. And then I have some fragrances that I have had at my vendor events that I have. They're kind of grab and go. So oh, that's cool. What kind of shop is it? The one you've talked about before? I don't know if that was your brother's shop though. Okay, let me put these to the side here. I was thinking that I had seen that you had, okay, yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. I saw that you had set up, I mean, I saw on the, I think you did it on the consultant page that you had no, maybe you might have just done it on your personal one, that you had a show or, you know, that you had products. And I wondered where it was because I thought like normally vendor event type things, unless it's like a week-long thing, it's on the weekend. So I wondered where you were set up. That's cool. Oh, very cool. That's very cool. Do you have a lot of traffic then through your brother's shop? Okay, so here are, so when I do my vendor shows, good, good. I hope you do well while you're there. But since it's your brother's shop, you can just leave, you know, you can leave it at night and go on and nobody's going to be taking it. The shop owner's not going to be grabbing things. So that would be nice. Sounds good. Okay, so when I do my vendor events, I have different fragrances that are out. I have, let's see, I have like 36 cartons that are open that people can smell and they can really, you know, experience, especially if they're not familiar with Pink Zebra, or I have different people come in and say, you know, I used to love this fragrance. Do you have that? A lot of times the ones they're looking for are not ones that I have brought. I had a gal looking for Pool Party. Well, I do have that, but I didn't bring, you know, summery fragrances. So I can give her my card and say, you know, you can order this online, because any of my fragrances you guys can find. I try to keep them updated, but if you are looking for a specific fragrance, make sure I have it. Or if you're looking for a particular blend, make sure I have that. If you click and go there, then you are going to, so the top link will take you to what I have in my personal stash. The second one is what corporate has. And so sometimes what they have no longer available, I might still have. Because a lot of times on here, if you are particularly looking for some, if you are familiar with Pink Zebra and you are looking for one of those coveted fragrances, because you're on here and you are more familiar, sometimes I may still have something that other people don't, that's retired. It's long since retired from the corporate page, you know, and other consultants don't have it anymore, because when I am at vendor events, a lot of times people get to experience a lot of different fragrances, and if they're not familiar that it's the most coveted one, that might not be the one they are going for, because they just find one that they really enjoy. And so I might still have some of those fragrances that other people might not have anymore. But like I said, I have 36 fragrances, at least 36 fragrances that are single fragrances. And then I tell them that they can blend. So sometimes I do have people that will try to make up their own little blends. Sometimes they're just doing single fragrances, but I have started bringing blends. And then I have, so like this one is spiced cinnamon vanilla. And then I have some that are already mixed up that they can just grab and go. But that way then they can see different fragrances that and how you can blend them. So spiced cinnamon vanilla is cinnamon spice and warm vanilla woods. If you guys have not experienced either one of those or blended, they are amazing. Now this one reminds me exactly of this candle that I used to get quite a while ago. My kids were little, I think, when this company was still around, that I used to buy a cinnamon spiced or a cinnamon vanilla candle from them. This one to me reminds me exactly of that fragrance. So cinnamon spice by itself smells exactly like red hot candy to me. And the warm vanilla woods is just a really good warm vanilla mixed together. They are chef's kiss. But any of these fragrances, if there's something you're looking for specifically, or you're wanting to make a blend of something, if you go there at the on the top link, at the top or at the very bottom of the front page, it says Amy's Fragrance Blends. You can click on the top menu, or you can click on the banner at the bottom. They say the same thing. They go to the exact same place. It takes you to my spreadsheet. And on my spreadsheet, it's all the different fragrance, all the different blends that I have done or other people have done. And then I have, most of them I have tried out to see if I like them. And then I put them on my blend, on my spreadsheet, so that if there is a particular fragrance you like, but you want to kind of mix it up and do some different blends, it gives you some ideas. Now, on my spreadsheet, not all of those fragrances are still available. I might not have some of them anymore. They might have been a different season, or they're not available on corporate anymore. Maybe I couldn't get that particular fragrance. So if there is a blend you like, then by all means ask me if I have those specific fragrances, and if I do, we can make that blend for you. If you might have something, you know, part of that blend and you're looking for the other parts, check with me and I might have some of those fragrances you're looking for to make blends that you've tried before. But I like to do these so I have them open. They can smell these blends alongside the single ones that I have open. And if they like the ones that I have, again, they can grab the fragrance. I have them bagged up. So this one, the cinnamon spice vanilla, it smells so good. It is a strong, because the cinnamon itself is a strong fragrance, but with that warm vanilla woods, it kind of takes off the edge and makes it not so, I don't know. It just makes it a more of a warm cinnamon vanilla as opposed to just a really strong vanilla. But anyway, so that one is that. Then another one that I need to make some more of, this one is spicy. There you go, spicy. Hi, Drew. This one, I can make some more of this because I still have the ingredients. This one has gone very well. So what I do is when I make my fragrances and bag them up, I was able to use the rest of this to make one more bag. So this one, I don't have much left in. I need to make some more. I'm good, Drew. How are you? But this one has, so I call it apple pumpkin streusel. It is apple pumpkin butter, pumpkin bread, and funfetti cake. Again, funfetti cake is no longer available on the corporate site. There's an ingredients that they can't get anymore, so it is no longer available. I do still have some that I can make some blends with. Well, partly because it says Andrew in the name that's on there now. That was my first guess. Are you doing good? Anyway, so this one is a really good one. It has gone, all the bags that I had prepared for my last couple vendor events, plus this thing was full so that we could make bags if we ran out. And that is what I have left. So I probably will make some more of this. Unless I decide on a different fragrance, I will probably make some more of this before my next vendor event because it was a very popular one. Then let's see. So then I have a couple that I have right together that people can smell each one. They are, so I've called one Cozy Cabin. It has Applewood and Fireside Vanilla. And then I have another one called Fireside Embrace that is, again, Applewood and Fireside Vanilla, but the Fireside Embrace also has Refined Man. Refined Man is one of my favorite masculine fragrances. I really like that one. Some people like Manly Man more. Refined Man is the one that I like better. This one is hard to see that there are 3 fragrances. You can tell 2 of the fragrances look they have a very similar color. I'll try to get these out of here and show you. But you can see, like on this one is more equal parts of that kind of tan, and then kind of that, I don't know, more kind of a burnt orange kind of color. And this one looks like it has more of that tan and less of the burnt orange because 2 of the fragrances are that tan color. It's very hard even when you have them and you know which one's which, they're very similar in color. So the Cozy Cabin and the Fireside Embrace. If you like it, if you like kind of outdoorsy with a little more masculine fragrance, the Fireside Embrace, it's a very good one, but it does have a bit more of like a masculine cologne, like an outdoorsy but masculine cologne with that Refined Man. It smells so good. And then the Cozy Cabin, again the same but no Refined Man. This one is just more, it doesn't have so much, it smells outdoorsy, but not so much on that cologne. The Applewood, you get a little bit of like apple, but with the woody, outdoorsy smell. And Fireside Vanilla is just a really good like vanilla with, again, the outdoorsy with that fireside, kind of that woody fragrance. So they're both really good, but I have them together so that you can smell both and see how adding one extra fragrance can change up the fragrance that you are looking at. So these are 2 fragrances that I do, Cozy Cabin and then Fireside Embrace. They both have 2 of the same, and then the one also has Refined Man. So those are different blends that I do. Then I also have, let me get, I do have, I don't even know if I have it listed. Let me see if I have this one listed on my site. I have a collection. I think I do. I think I marked it on there. I have a couple different collections. Well, I have 3 different collections. One of them I don't bring to my vendor events right now because it's more of like a summery, you know, it has like more summer, more like summery baked goods, that collection. They are on my website. So let me talk about those, and then I'll talk about this fall collection one that I have. But the one that's like more summery, that one is called the Cottage Lane collection. It has Orchard Bay Cafe, which has blueberry waffles, cherry, lemon meringue pie, and apple cherry crisp. It is a really good fruity bakery, like summery bakery fragrance. Then I have Sunset in Raspberry Cove. It has Blush Dahlia, Berry Crush, and Radiant Raspberry Air Care. So the Blush Dahlia is a floral. To me, by itself, the Blush Dahlia is kind of a darker, maybe more tart floral. But with the rest of the fragrances in there, the Berry Crush and the Radiant Raspberry, they help brighten that. And so it's a fruity floral, but it is a brighter fragrance. Then I have Cozy Nights in Cape Haven. It is beautiful. I haven't been warming that lately, but I do have a whole carton just for myself. That one is Summer Romance, Vacation, Sea Salt and Vanilla, and Cozy Blanket. That one is just a very warm, imagine yourself sitting on the shore. You can smell, some light floral. You can smell like the ocean breeze with that sea salt and vanilla. And then it's just the Vacation, I believe, has a little bit of apple. So it's just a very pretty, crisp, floral, fruity notes by the sea, by the ocean. That one, I think I only have 3. Yeah, that one only has 3 fragrances in it. Now, so that one's called the Cottage Lane collection. Now, if you're looking for any of these collections, when you go here, so click and then click top link, that is going to give you the what I personally have. Go to this section that is called, I don't remember exactly how, it's something bundles. So from the home page, go to the live games and bundles. And from there, you will see the, well, I thought you would. Do I not have them? Oh, there they are. No, that's not them. Okay, maybe I didn't list those separately yet. Hold on. Or I might have just not put them on my website actively. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to see if I have it. Let me find it. Okay. Let's see. I called it... Oh, I don't have it on here. So, okay, so let me make them active. So I have a Clear the Air sampler. And then I have... So the summery one is called Cozy Cottage. No. Yes. Is that right? No, Cottage Lane collection. Sorry. I saw the Cozy Cottage something else. That was the name of one of my blends. The Cottage Lane collection is the one that's more summery, more like summery fruits and fruit and floral. That one is the Cottage Lane collection. Again, you can find it under the live games and bundles section. And then for the other sampler, I have the Air Care. If I could spell, that would help me bring it up. I have, let me make that one active as well. Okay, so let me go back so that I can see that I can find those. Okay, I don't have a picture of them on there, but one is called the Fall into Fragrance Sampler, and the other one is called Clear the Air Sampler. So the Clear the Air Sampler, it is going to give you 4 different fragrances on the box, and I could find it, but again, it's over there in my vendor stuff, so I'm not exactly sure where the box is. But I can show it if somebody really wants to see it. But you're gonna get 4 bags. You're gonna get an Air Care Plus. You're gonna get a Fresh Air Care. You're gonna get a fresh, no, I already said that. You're gonna get a Juicy Orange Air Care, and then you're also gonna get Simply Lemon. So those 4 together are really good. There's also a recipe card in there so that you can see different ways that you can blend different ones together to get different fragrances. I don't know if, let me see if I can see those real fast. Yeah, no, I think I would have to dig. I think I would have to dig for those. So, but I can show you. They would all come with a recipe. I mean, they do have a recipe card in there that gives you, you can use any of them individually, or you can use, there's different blend ideas. But you can always make your own blends. But with the Air Care Plus products, those are a special line that Pink Zebra has. Those are gonna help eliminate odor. So they are gonna like kind of encapsulate any odor that you have. Think like in your kitchen, if you are frying up something, and you know, when you're frying it up, it smells amazing, but I don't know about you, when I am frying up something, it smells great, but I don't want it to still smell like that 4 hours later. Like, I'm done with the meal, I've cleaned up my kitchen, and I don't want it still to have that lingering fried smell. To me, after the fact, I don't want to smell it anymore. And so our Air Care Plus products, any of them, are going to help eliminate odor. So we have the Air Care Plus, we have Fresh Air Care Plus. I do still have some Coastal Cotton Air Care Plus. We have Radiant Raspberry Air Care. What else? I have Cedar and Cypress Air Care. That one is a really good, I love Cedar and Cypress. It's one of my favorites. So when it comes and goes, I make sure I grab some so that I don't ever run out of that. I'm trying to look at my containers. Like I did the Juicy Orange one. So the Simply Lemon is not an air care product, but Simply Lemon to me smells, it has Meyer lemon in it. To me, Simply Lemon smells like Pledge. It reminds me of Lemon Pledge because my mom used to always use that when we were growing up, and it smells just like Lemon Pledge to me. And so those that are in that sampler bundle, Air Care, Fresh Air Care, Juicy Orange, and Simply Lemon, all of those can be mixed and matched, and they are so good. So the Clear the Air Sampler, you're going to get those 4 fragrances. You are going to get a recipe card, and that for 4 bags is $42. So you are going to get a little bit of a discount for getting the sampler. It's going to be $42 when normally 4 bags would be $44. So you are getting a little bit of a discount to get that cleaning, Clear the Air bundle. I was trying to think if there's anything else I was missing on air care products that we have. Oh, I do still have some Kiwi Melon Air Care as well. So if you're just looking for air care products, I do still have quite a few. Even if they're not available on our website right now, I do still have some of the other older fragrances available. Again, anything with Air Care Plus is going to help eliminate odor. Again, think kitchen. Think, you know, like in your hallway, if you have kids with stinky shoes. I don't know, my kids are now both in college, which also keeps the area much cleaner. You know, you don't have wild shoes all over the place all the time. But I have a daughter who's a junior in college and then a son that's a freshman in college, and you know, they can have stinky shoes, especially when they were in sports. So having an Air Care Plus product in that area helps eliminate that odor, or you know, in a closet, or you know, something like that. So that helps eliminate odor. Any combination of fragrances, if you are looking for something to help eliminate odor, if you make a blend and at least half of your blend is an Air Care product, then it is going to help eliminate odor. So if you want to do different blends of things, so like I'm just looking here, like Juicy Orange Air Care, okay, that is Juicy Orange, Sunwarm Neroli, and Lemon. Juicy Orange by itself is really good orange, but if you want to change it up a little bit, you could also do, you know, add it to some other tropical fragrances, or add it to some of our citrus, our more citrus fragrances, and you can kind of change up the fragrance. If you don't like just solid orange, you could add it to some of our other, again, tropical or things like that. As if at least half of your blend is that juicy orange, it's going to help eliminate odor. The Air Care Plus, so just the one called Air Care, that one has fresh air, green floral, and sweet orange. So there you see with the orange, you could also add the Air Care to the juicy orange, and it's going to help tone down, because it's going to have, the Air Care is going to have some of those other properties. It's going to help tone down that orange so that you have something else too, not just orange, if you want it like for the juicy orange. The Fresh Air Care has fresh breeze, fruit, and green florals. The Fresh Air Care by itself, it is my favorite for laundry. So I have, with Pink Zebra, we have the wool balls that you can put our diffuser oil on, and then it helps fragrance your laundry in your dryer. And then it also, with the wool balls, helps eliminate static electricity, and you're not putting the dryer sheets in there, which they say are not good, that they have things in the dryer sheets that are not the best for us. And so by using those wool balls and our diffuser oil, you are fragrancing your laundry and making it fresh in your dryer. My favorite is the Fresh Air Care diffuser oil on the wool balls, and it makes your laundry smell so good. I love that fragrance. I also have the Fresh Air Care in my hallway, you know, just if they're like, again, with the stinky shoes scenario, it helps eliminate odor if there's odor, you know, like in your front hallway, maybe even, I don't know about you, but where I live in Kansas, and we do have a lot of feedlots. So not all the time, but sometimes if the wind blows just right, if you're opening and shutting your door, it might smell like feedlot as you're opening your door. And so that Fresh Air Care is going to help your house inside not smell like feedlot. So just a tip. But also, if you don't feel like cleaning your house on any specific day, if you want to use the Clear the Air sampler, it's going to be smelling like you cleaned your house all day long. You have your fresh laundry with the Fresh Air Care. You have your Simply Lemon that smells like you got your pledge going on. Your house is going to smell amazing. It is going to smell fresh and clean, and you didn't have to lift a finger except to turn on your wax warmer. So, you know, there's that too. If you didn't feel like cleaning and you want other people that come into your house to feel like you've been cleaning all day, you can turn that on as well. Just an idea. Okay. So besides the Clear the Air sampler, we also have a fall into fragrance sampler. The fall into fragrance sampler, again, it's going to be 4 different bags that are different fall fragrances. You're going to get a little discount on that one as well. It is $42 when normally 4 bags would be $44. It is boxed up in a cute little box, and this one doesn't have recipes because this one comes with 4 blends. So it's not a you know, make it yourself. It's already in blends, and these give different fragrances for your home for the fall. So we have the first one I'm going to talk about. Oh, this one is not. This one's a different one I had. Hold on. Autumn Hike. So Autumn Hike is Rustling Leaves and Everything Autumn. I have had this one in my living room before. I can't even remember. The last one had Rustling, it might have had both of these in it, but I had like a couple other things as well. This one is a very good, just fall outdoorsy fragrance. It has the Rustling Leaves and the Everything Autumn. The Everything Autumn has a little bit of like the fruit notes in it, like apple. And this one, when I have this one going, it's a strong fragrance, and it is a beautiful, just kind of outdoorsy in the fall. You get the like apples, kind of harvest fragrance. And it is a really good one. Again, it is a strong fragrance if you really want a more strong, outdoorsy. Rustling Leaves, though, is also one of my favorites that reminds me of Indiana again, if you were watching earlier. So the Fireside Cozy smells like a fireplace to me. It smells just like I remember when we went to Indiana at Christmas time to my grandparents' house, and they had their fire going. The Fireside Cozy reminds me of their fireplace. So in comparison, the Rustling Leaves, and when my aunt was visiting from Indiana a couple weeks ago, I had her smell the Rustling Leaves, and I said, tell me if this doesn't smell like what it smells like if you were walking, because she lives in Indiana too. My grandparents, when they were alive, they lived, well, at one point they lived on their property when my grandpa was starting to need some help and, you know, in getting around and things. But before that, in their home that my aunt grew up in, they lived about 30 minutes away. But I said, tell me, does that not smell like what I remember walking around in with the falling leaves, just the crisp air and the falling leaves in Indiana, you know, about this time and into winter? Does Rustling Leaves, to me, that smells like Indiana. I said, what do you think? And she smelled it and she said, oh my gosh, it does. And so the Rustling Leaves just by itself to me is a perfect crisp air, walking with the falling leaves, you know, kind of fall into the winter time. It is so good. I choke on my own. Sorry about that. Choke on my own spit. Getting very heated here. Oh my goodness. Anyway, Autumn Hike together then, it has that, Everything Autumn has that fruitiness with the Rustling Leaves. It's just like a beautiful harvest fragrance. Let's see, then over here, Caramel Orchard. Caramel Orchard has farmhouse cider, candy corn craze, and caramel bourbon brulee. So I can smell I smell definitely caramel. I can smell kind of that bourbon fragrance. The cider, so you get that apple. The candy corn craze just helps, whatever fragrance you put it with, just helps sweeten it up. Oh, I see the puzzle piece coming. I always try to do that without shaking you too much. But the candy corn craze in any of these recipes just helps give it a little bit more sweetness. It's a really good one. The caramel apple. So again, Caramel Orchard has farmhouse cider, candy corn craze, and caramel bourbon brulee. So in any of these fragrances, if you wanted to punch up a note of something, you could always add something else to it too. So like if you wanted more caramel, you could add like a caramel cauldron to it, and that would help bring even more caramel to this fragrance. That would be really good too. Okay, and then Grandma's Kitchen. So Grandma's Kitchen is warm apple pie, pumpkin bread, farmhouse cider, and candied cinnamon apple. So you're gonna get, this one is really pretty for fall too. So I had made this one for my mom for her birthday, the end of August, and she warmed this one immediately because I was making up fragrances right before I went to her house, and I had seen somebody talk about, I don't know if it was exactly this one, I don't know if it was these fragrances exactly, but I was in the middle of trying to smell different things, and so I made this one, called it Grandma's Kitchen since it was going to be for my mom, and it smells so good warming. The warm apple pie, pumpkin bread, farmhouse cider, candied cinnamon apple, so you're getting the pumpkin with some apple, that cinnamon. It's just beautiful in a kitchen. It is a beautiful fragrance for a kitchen. So Grandma's Kitchen is also in that blend. Now this one is separate. This is not in that mix. Or maybe it is. I might have not changed, because I was thinking this one was in there. So I might have the wrong thing on this Fall into Fragrance sampler. I may need to fix that, because it says Cozy Cabin, which is one of them that I now have for just my grab and go blends. So I think that I changed it to this one, and I don't think I fixed it on here. So I am going to go in here and change this one, because I am sure that it is Orchard Fireside, because I knew there was two orchards, Caramel Orchard and then Orchard Fireside, that is in this one. So Orchard Fireside has Nuts for Apples, which is kind of like a caramel apple fragrance. It has Cashmere Cedar, which is a beautiful outdoorsy one. It also goes perfect with the Cedar and Cypress Air Care that I was talking about earlier. That one is really good together. But Nuts for Apples, Cashmere Cedar, and Fireside Vanilla. All right, let me save that, because I am sure that that's that. I'm going to have to check those boxes, but I am sure it's that I changed it for this one. This one is a beautiful, again, kind of an outdoorsy, but yet kind of a, I want to say, a bit on kind of like a cologne fragrance. The Nuts for Apples, again, like I said, is kind of a caramel apple, so you definitely smell apple in here. The Cashmere Cedar, I don't know if I have, oh, there it is. It is Cozy Cashmere, Crystallized Amber, and Warm Woods. So I've done a blend of Cashmere Cedar, Cedar and Cypress Air Care, and Warm Vanilla Woods. And those three together are really good. So the Cashmere Cedar gives it kind of that perfumey, cologne-y fragrance. And Fireside Vanilla, it's going to give it, again, that vanilla, with the outdoorsy a little bit. This one is just a beautiful, if I could buy like a body wash with this, if you like apple, because you can definitely kind of get that caramel apple with that nuts for apples in there, it is a really good one. So that one might be one that I want to take to my next vendor event. I'm gonna have to think about that because some of those are just too good. Let me see, how long have I been on here? Does anybody have any questions? Again, if you currently place an order, I will give you a sample of the Caramel Apple Delight. It is next month's fragrance of the month. Granny Smith apples, caramel strands, and whipped vanilla milk. It is a very good, more heavy on the caramel. You get a little bit of apple, but it is pretty, you definitely get caramel apple on this one. And again, you could always add some of the caramel cauldron if you wanted more caramel. Sorry, fragrances or fragrancing. I also have a lot of different bags of wax melt sprinkles. If you are looking, especially if you're looking to like do a gift and you just want to have like some corporate bags, I have a lot of different corporate bags. If you're interested in doing like a new customer bundle is going to get you a warmer meaning either the Simmer POTS or a simmering light, whichever one you are interested in, and I have those on my website as well. But you're gonna get a warmer, whichever one you choose. Depending upon the price point, we're gonna get you at least 2 bags of wax melts with it. You can choose fragrances that I have that I can bag up, or if you want it to look, you know, if you want it to look a little more corporate, you could always get the corporate bags as well. I have a lot of different fragrances. Like this one is Pacific Mist and Pine. It is so good. It smells like a fresh and clean soap. That one's really good. But I have a lot of corporate type bags. If there's something specific you're looking for, if I don't have, it is Pink Zebra. We are a non-toxic, headache-friendly home fragrance company. Have you heard of Pink Zebra? Oh, sorry. That is, that was Pacific Mist and Pine. Have you ever tried Pacific Mist and Pine? I've heard people say that it smells like Irish Spring. I don't know if I've ever smelled that, or if I have, it's been a long time ago, but it is just a really clean, fresh, like body wash. It is a really good one. And I do have, I mean, I can bag those up too, because I have those here too. A lot of these I still have those same fragrances, but some of them I might not have anymore. Gummy Ghoul is a really good one. It smells, I don't know, kind of like a peach ring, but it is just a really good candy, sweet fragrance. I have Bourbon Vanilla. It is warm vanilla and sweet, warm vanilla, sweet bourbon, and oak. It is definitely, you get that vanilla bourbon, but the oak kind of gives it a little bit of a woodiness to it. But I have all kinds of fragrances in here. I got pumpkin cider, Vampire Kiss. Vampire Kiss, I made a really good, when this first came out, I made, what did I call it? Again, if you ever want to look at my blends, you can go there, click, and then click. The top link is going to take you the front page. At the very top in the menu or at the very bottom, there's a banner that says Amy's Fragrance Blends, and it gives you all my spreadsheet. So if you're looking for something specific, or if you're wanting to make blends, make sure you ask if I still have those fragrances available. But because I have all my blends in there, and some of them I might not be able to make currently. But this one, what did I call it? This one, it was like a, the blend that I did made it smell like a red velvet cake. So Vampire Kiss has maraschino cherry, dark rose, and velvet vanilla musk. But I made it smell like a red velvet cake. Let me see, I don't remember what I called it. Creamy red velvet confection. I had Vampire Kiss, Amaretto Cream, Hot Cocoa Kisses, which is a chocolate, a really good chocolate, and Funfetti Cake, and Black Cherry. So it had a lot of different fragrances, but it made a really good red velvet cake. That's another one that has the Funfetti Cake in it, which we can no longer purchase. I do still have a little bit that I can do blends with, but once it's gone, it's gone. And then I also have different, like more summery fragrances. I have Blooming Bunny Trail, Pineapple Fiesta, Water Lily and Melon. I'm just kind of looking through here. Bahama Breeze, Coco Loco. Some of these I do still have cartons of, so I could make bags of anyway. Or like blends. Beachside Boardwalk. I think I said Blooming Bunny Trail. So I have a lot of different of those too. But if you are wanting to do a new customer bundle, it is $60, and you are going to get, I'm going to set this down, because I'm afraid I'm going to knock it off and then have those everywhere. So a new customer, Andrea, from what I understand is there was an ingredient that was in it that we could no longer get. So it was one, normally if it is, I just lost something. If it is a signature fragrance, then we're gonna have it all year long. And that one was. So the only reason that it would disappear is because there's an ingredient that they used to be able to get that they can no longer get. So unfortunately, Funfetti Cake Batter is no longer available, and only what consultants have is the only way you're going to be able to get it. And then once it's gone, it's gone. I would hope maybe someday they would be able to find that ingredient again, but until they do, we're not going to have Funfetti Cake. And I love that one. It smells so good. It is so good. And I have it in so many things as a blender. Like I said, I had that red velvet cake one that I did. I just made one that I am using. I just put it in my warmer today that I call Banana Fetti Cake. And it has it in there. A lot of my bakery ones have Funfetti Cake in it. So I'm sad. And I know a lot of people are sad because it is a really good blender, if not by itself. Now the Sugar Cookie Bliss, it's a really good one too. And I'm going to have to, you know, if I'm making some of those fragrances, once my Funfetti Cake is gone, I will try to do like some with the Sugar Cookie Bliss. But it's just a really good, it's a really good one. And so I know that whatever ingredient they couldn't get anymore, I'm sure they're sad too, because we're all sad. But it's a good one. What's your favorite fragrance, Andrea? Are you still on here, Bella? What's your favorite fragrance? Even though I have my banana fetty cake going right now, like my all-time, and I'll probably bust it out again the next time, because I try to go like a couple, 2-3 different fragrances before I go back to my all-time favorite right now is Mango Madness. If you've never tried Mango Madness, and again, that's one of our, you know, our summer fragrances. Oh, yeah, yeah. I love black cherry. Mango Madness to me is so good. Mango, ice lemonade, and sugared orange. This one I think I'm going to go back to because I've been doing some fall fragrances. But I love throwing Mango Madness out occasionally because it's just so good. Black cherry is a really good one. I like to blend with too. But by itself, it's really good. And see, and my niece had made a blend with black cherry and funfetti cake. So there's another blend that we did with funfetti cake. If you guys are just jumping on, what fragrance is one of your favorites? You're not huge on blending? And you don't have to be. That's the good thing with Pink Zebra. You can just do the single fragrances or you can do blends. Sprinkles with, oh, when it just says sprinkles with, I'm like, is that all your name is? I don't know. Does it say sprinkles with GG maybe? I see sprinkles with GI when I click on it. Oh no, maybe giggles. Giggles, it says, is your other part of your name. What is your favorite fragrance? So you don't like to blend, you just like the fragrances and there's nothing that you need to add to them. You just don't want to have to figure it out. So we'll just go with the single. I mean, like blueberry waffles by itself, I love just by itself. Black cherry, I can do just by itself. A lot of them I can do. Like even like apple glazed donut is really good. I was talking about fresh air care. That one, I just use that one on my laundry. For summer, like I love Summer Romance just by itself. I love Vanilla Rose just by itself. So there are fragrances that I like just by itself. Welcome in, guys. But then there are other fragrances that I might want to add a little extra. Like for when I was talking about like my favorite masculine fragrance just by itself, Refined Man, I love. But like I've done the blend with Fireside Vanilla, Refined Man, and Applewood, and that one is really good by it, or you know, blended. So there's different fragrances that I do like just by themselves, but I also, it's fun to be able to blend and make different fragrances and change it up sometimes. So I like to do that too. If you guys are just jumping on, if you have never heard of Pink Zebra, we are a home fragrance company. Our wax melts are little dots of wax that you can blend and make your own fragrances, or you can just blend them, just melt them, warm them by themselves. They do go in any wax warmer. This one is one that is coming out. It'll be our fragrance of next month. It is called Caramel Apple Delight, and it is so good. But about 3 scoops at a time in your wax warmer. So if you're gonna do blends, if you're gonna do like 3 different fragrances, you'd want about 1 scoop each. But that's what's fun, to be able to play and make different blends and to get different fragrances together. Does anybody have any questions? I might jump off, if not, and go figure out what I'm gonna do for supper. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and jump off. Thank you for hanging out, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.